Welcome to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. Got some information here. You would think what happened in World War II against the Jewish people was enough to remind people that racism cannot be tolerated of any sort. Racism doesn't discriminate. It happens on all levels of races, just not black and white, but it goes on to different races and groups of people against certain groups of people. But this article really got me fired up. It really got me fired up. It's from a very reliable source, the Times of Israel. Let's go into the article and I'll tell you what it's about. A title reads, German official demands ban on Kuwait Airways over anti-Israel discrimination. Christian Lange appeals to Chancellor Merkel following Frankfurt's court's ruling that airliner didn't have to transport an Israeli on a 2016 flight. So the courts ruled in favor of Kuwait, who did not allow an Israeli person to fly on their airline. Let's dive into the article a little bit further. A German Justice Department official on Friday urged his government to revoke Kuwait Airways landing rights in response to the Gulf state's national airline ban on transporting Israeli citizens. Christian Lange, the department's parliamentary state secretary, appealed to Chancellor Angela Merkel in a letter to personally advocate a ban on the airline's operations in Germany, saying that the discrimination displayed by Kuwait Airways was intolerable. Reuters reported. Let's go on a little further. Quote, we cannot say, quote, never again at a remembrance ceremony, but then remain silent when activists in Germany call for a boycott of Israel, or as in this case, when an airliner refuses to carry an Israeli citizens, Lange said, referring to Germany's recent marking of the anniversary of the November 9th, 1938 Nazi pogroms against the Jews. Quote, especially the German government must make clear that we reject this form of discrimination and hate and that we stand by the side of our Israeli friends, he added. Of course it's discrimination when you do not allow if you do not allow a certain race or group of people to fly your airline peaceful, they're peaceful as long as they're not doing anything that's non-peaceful. But a peaceful Israeli wanting to fly on a Kuwait airline is barred from that airline strictly because he or she is an Israeli, is an offense to the world. Yes, I know that Kuwait supplies a lot of oil to us. Yes, I know we get a lot of money from Kuwait. I know that we bailed them out and helped them and saved their country from Saddam Hussein. But I would pull their landing license. I really would. I would pull their landing license in Germany, that they could never land one of their aircraft there again until that policy is changed. That's the purest form of racism there is. Racism doesn't discriminate. It goes across all ethnic groups, peoples, races, creed, colors. It doesn't discriminate. It happens across the board. But what the Jews have gone through in World War II, it doesn't happen suddenly. It happens real slightly. See, in Germany, they just didn't start attacking the Jews immediately. First, they had to register that they were a Jew, and then this process, and that process, and this process. And before you know it, you're in Auschwitz waiting to be gassed. Now, this is racism in the fullest, purest form that I think Germany needs to revoke Kuwait's airline pass rights where their planes cannot land or fuel in Germany. That's my own opinion. Hey, I'm for Israel. I'm a Christian, but I know the Bible well enough to know, and I've studied it long enough to know that Israel, the Israeli people has been through a tremendous lot. So has other groups also of people. But this is a form of racism that should not be tolerated. With that being said, I'll go ahead and close. I'm a little fired up, as you can tell. This has really got me on a rant. Hey, if not the kind of shifting gears here, if God has laid it on your heart to subscribe, by all means, please subscribe. We'll try to do a good job for you. Jerusalem Gate makes no money from his channel. We do it strictly for the love of getting the news out with a Christian perspective, and by providing a platform to give Bible studies and such like that. With that being said, you're watching and listening to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. Shalom.